So what's going on, y'all? What's happening? I just want to let this out for the record before the sun go down. You know, I don't got no light and all that other stuff. You know, did y'all hear about? Y'all can look it up because I did. I just forgot exactly where it was, but all I need to know is that it was at Amazon. Apparently, at an Amazon warehouse, they found somebody dead inside of a bathroom. Now I know that, unless you living under a rock, you must have heard about Amazon not really giving freedom to its employees as to like longer bathroom breaks, longer lunch breaks, and they really out here trying to turn things into like back in the old days when you was at the factory, probably not you in general, like your grandparents and your great grandparents worked in factories, and they was working them to the bone. Apparently that's what Amazon doing. And it was a bunch of people that rallied together to try to make a union to try to make sure that to go against Amazon, but Amazon just came back, just clapped back and was just like, hey, we see that you're trying to do that, but if you keep doing it, you're gonna lose your job. There's been a bunch of people that have stepped up and gave their personal stories. But let me tell you something. Coming from somebody that worked at Amazon my damn self, let me tell you. I almost said something. I can believe. I do believe it because that's exactly what it was when I was at Amazon. Same way. I would have to say that it got worse after my departure, which I'm glad that I left because Amazon out here trying to make things back into the like 1950s and 40s. They working people to the bone. It was another case where another guy had a cardiac arrest and collapsed in the middle of the floor in the warehouse in front of people. And nobody didn't come and check on him until 20 minutes later. But also come to find out that the man went to the medical to try to see if there was something wrong because he was having chest pain. And they just told him, nah, you alright. You good. You can go on. You can go back to work. Just for him to go back to work, and then he dies. They said something about, oh no, you just dehydrated. You just dehydrated. You just need some water. The man was having chest pains. What does dehydration have to do with chest pain? If you dehydrated, I thought for sure when you dehydrated, the first clear sign of dehydration is that you feel dryness in your throat. You become a little parched. So you like, I need a beverage. I need some kind of drink, whether if it's water or maybe some orange juice or apple juice, something to quench my thirst. And most of the time when you're thirsty, you want something cold. I never heard dehydration having to do with chest pain. But Amazon out here trying to defend themselves and say, oh, we didn't know. You know, they're not really being considerate, which is no surprise because they weren't considerate when I was there. I remember when I was there, they was out here saying, they was out here forcing people to work. No, not even forcing people. They told people Amazon only had 2 shifts. Two shifts. One shift was, it don't even matter. They were both 12-hour shifts in total. Cause those little breaks and the breaks were like, they were like 15-minute breaks. And then we had that one lunch break that lasted only like 30 minutes. But it takes you about 5 to 10 minutes to walk to the lunchroom. And then you still got to walk in there. And then there's a bunch of people that's in there because at every single Amazon warehouse, there's hundreds of people that work there. And there's only 2 shifts. So when you walk into the lunchroom, you're dealing with everybody that's on that shift, which is about maybe a good 2, 3, maybe even 4. Quite possibly, if everybody came to work, 500 people inside of that lunchroom. It was so many people inside of that lunchroom that some people that were not even working on that level, they were not even working on that floor. They came to that lunchroom because the lunchroom that was on the floor that they worked at was packed. But that's even more time. And if you got back too late, they dock that out of your pay. They say, oh, you know, you showed up a little too late. You showed up 5, 7, 10 minutes late. You know, we're going to deduct that 10 minutes out of your pay. But remember, I said it takes you about 10 to 15 minutes to get to the lunchroom. And by the time you get off and you go home, some people literally had to catch the bus to go home. So by the time you left and you caught the bus to another bus, to another bus, or to the subway, or to the light rail, and then you finally got home, it then took you about an hour to quite possibly 2 hours to get home. And then by the time you get home, you only have enough time to go home, make your lunch, and then go to sleep. You ain't had no time for no social life. Even people that worked in the morning did not have any time. Because I was one of them. I worked in the morning. You know what my schedule was? From 6 to 6. From 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. You know what time I got home? About 7. About 7. The latest 8:30, depending on traffic. It was only enough time for me to go in the house, make my lunch for the next day, clean myself, and then go to sleep. I had literally no social life. Literally. And when I left Amazon, oh man, I was filled with such relief. Because I was like, thank goodness I don't have to work for y'all bums no more. But the CEO of Amazon don't care. You know what he just did? He's trying to build a $500 million super yacht with the money that you guys keep using Amazon for. And when those two people died, because those are the two that we know about, because media doesn't tell us everything. They don't reveal everything because they settle things in court before it even has a chance to even go out there and be aired out. They settle it in court and they say, no. We're going to give you hush money. We're going to give you this money so you can shut up. It didn't faze him. He just leaned back in his chair and just shrugged his shoulders like, okay. But we're going to get back to this money, though. What's the revenue looking? How many people, what's this? How much revenue this Amazon location brought in? How much revenue this Amazon location brought in? That's what I'm saying. These are the people that are in charge. These are the CEOs and the CFOs and the COOs, and they don't care. All they see is money. They don't see people, they see dollar signs. Meanwhile, while you're working your butt off, you know what they doing? Sitting on yachts. Driving. Nope, not driving. Getting chauffeured in Rolls Royce and the limited edition Mercedes and getting on private planes, and flying to places like Bermuda and Belize and Turkey. They don't care. But when they do care? Because if you want to rally together and go out there and protest and all that stuff, they might care about it, but they not really going to care about it. They just going to be like, oh, okay, do those people work for us? Yeah. They work for us? Yeah. Oh, okay, well then you know what? Just tell them, okay, well if you don't come back into work, you fired. They'll come back in. Because they got bills. They need that money. They need it. So they can go on ahead. Let them protest. But just make sure you tell them that. Because if you tell them that, they'll come back in. You got people falling out, dying in your establishment, and you don't want to change anything. You already got on the Amazon drivers that were trying to protest too, trying to say, hey, we need longer bathroom breaks. Because by the time we park the trucks, mind you, they all drive trucks. By the time we park the trucks, get out the truck, make our way inside of the warehouse, and make our way to the bathroom, it's already been 15, 20 minutes. Dang near a half an hour. But I think truck drivers, I think their bathroom breaks is about the same. I think their breaks is about the same as the people that work in the warehouse. I never really drove an Amazon truck, but I didn't even want to. Because if you treating the people that work in your warehouse like this, I don't even want to imagine what you're doing to the truck drivers. Because the truck drivers are the people that actually have to get the items that the people working at the warehouse get onto the conveyor belt and get into the boxes. They have to get those items to the location. I mean, what is this? I'm glad that the guy that unfortunately I cannot remember the two individuals that passed away in Amazon, but the one that had the cardiac arrest, his brother, he went on record and he said they left him there for 20 minutes before somebody finally came down there and checked on him and confirmed that he was dead. But while they were doing that, they turned and they looked at everybody and they pretty much just said, everybody go back to work. They pretty much gave you the officer from South Park. They just walked up on there. They just walked up on the scene and just told everybody, nothing to see here. Go back to work or you're fired. Meanwhile, before he had the cardiac arrest, he was, I think he was a picker. And he was either a picker or the person that puts the item into the little crap. I forgot the name of it, because that's what I used to do. I used to pick the stuff and I used to put the stuff in. But he put something in the wrong bin. And literally, like a snap of a finger, somebody from Amazon walked up to him and said, hey, excuse me, you put that item in the wrong bin. Didn't even take you less than 30 seconds to walk up to him and tell him that he put something wrong in a bin, but you left him lying on the floor for a whole 20 minutes. And don't tell me that don't say no crap like, oh, we didn't see him. You saw him, because if you saw him put the wrong item into a bin, you saw him grab his chest and fall out on the floor. So don't give me that crap. And the only way that millionaires and billionaires, the only way that they finally get the picture and they finally start to say, oh, you know what, we're so sorry, we're gonna work with you guys. And the only time that happens is when nobody uses their services. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you. I recently used Amazon I recently went through Amazon for something. But I'm gonna tell you the truth. Only reason why I went through Amazon was because I couldn't get it from the actual site itself. That they had some kind of partnership through Amazon, and that was the only way that I could get the product. And I was sitting there, and I remember I was sitting there looking at it, and I was literally saying to myself, so you trying to tell me there's no way that I can just go to the site itself and just order from the site and get it? I have to go through Amazon? I don't want to go through Amazon. Amazon is a piece of crap. Because the last time I used Amazon had to have been back in the beginning of the year. Back in the beginning of this year. Because it was a particular item that's old, and I can't use it. I'm telling y'all, man. That's the only way that y'all can make people. That's the only way that y'all can make people cave. If y'all stop using Amazon, what's his name? Jeff Bezos, the CEO of Amazon. Then he gonna come down to our level, because he's gonna be like, oh, okay, because I don't use Amazon. I try to go through the site itself. That's the only way that you hurt them. So I'm just gonna say it, hashtag stop using Amazon. Go through the site. Go to the actual people, the actual sites. Because Amazon taking over, you can't even buy clothes without going through Amazon anymore. They're trying to buy and control everything. So the only way that you can get stuff is through Amazon. It's terrible, people. Just stop using Amazon.